G'day guys, how's it going? I am bringing you a quick flip through this Rainbow Poppies collection by Paper Rose Studio. I don't do flip throughs. I'm not much of an unboxer, all that sort of jazz. But I tell you what, woo, this is beautiful. I love this. This is what I'm all about. I love it. It's simple. It's beautiful. I can literally create. I reckon I'm going to use each and every piece of this whole package, this whole collection. Now, there's no embellishments or anything with it. It's all I've bought is just the paper collection because I prefer to create my own beat of my own drum, that sort of thing. So there's some beautiful along the branding strips. They've got words and phrases, etc. And they've got wooden textures and stuff on the background. Check out that page. Is that not gorgeous? That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now let's get into today's layout. Okay, so I've gone ahead. Please excuse my voice. This COVID is kicking my butt. I just got to say. All right. So what I'm doing is I've cut out. So I've cut out, just fussy cut the wreath out of the center. And what I'm doing at the moment is just creating a border by flipping it over and using the back side of this. I love yellow. I love it. It's beautiful. This is a more muted tone though, but still, I love it. Now, it's at this point that I haven't realised my mistake. And anyone that has watched any of my other videos knows that, Karren, newsflash, you have to take 1/2 inch off the width of your page. So at this stage, I haven't realised this. So don't freak out. I am in fact taking the leaves off here. I wanted a spot for my photos to sit perfectly and nestled in, which they do nicely, sitting there like that without the green leaves. The green leaves were throwing me off. I couldn't work out what wasn't working on the page. I was like, for such a gorgeous collection, and I've had this idea since I saw it before I even ordered it. I wanted to do it. But then for the life of me, I could not figure out why it didn't look right. I work it out. I figure it out. So what I'm doing here is I have gone through and ages ago I bought from some Assemblage required Etsy shop. I bought a leaf cut file, and basically I just use it on my Cricut and I cut them to the size that I want. I cut some larger, some smaller, all that sort of bizzo, and I just dedicate while I'm scrapping. I'll just cut 2 or 3 white sheets, and then I can make them whatever color I like whenever I need them. So that's where I got the leaves from, and I will put that link in the description. That's with MK. That's her some assemblage required. So I go through, and can you see what I'm doing here? I put it on the wrong side, so I put all the colour on the wrong side. And I was really happy with how the purple was too. Basically, because I've got that sort of horseshoe shape now, I need some of my leaves to be pointing to the north, and I need some of them to be pointing to the west. So, yeah. Anyway, I do fix it. It's all good. But I go through. So the colours that I'm using, I will list these below, but I'm using Tumbled Glass, Broken China. These are all distress inks, by the way. Broken China, Dusty Concord, Villainous Potion, Picked Raspberry, Fired Brick, Wild Honey, Rusty Hinge, and Scattered Straw. These were the colours that I felt went pretty well with the colours that were around there. I didn't want these colours to contrast. I wanted them to bulk out and fill up my wreath, if that makes sense. because it's at this point, it was around here that I realised what I wasn't liking about my page. And what it actually turned out to be was the green leaves. I know, it sounds really weird, but the green leaves were just, they weren't working. That's what was throwing me off. Now, I'm just about finished. I think that was my last one. Nope, this is my last one. So this is just on my, this is a Teflon mat that I buy from Craft Online here in Australia. I buy 2-pack. I buy them when they're on sale, and I think they cost me like $4.50 or something when they're on sale. And yes, I have cut through this one several times, but I just put some washi tape on the back and she'll be right, mate. It's all good. So now, once I dry these, then I move on to, what do I move on to then? I don't know. So, while we're looking at this, how's your weekend going? My weekend has been fantastic, short of the fact that I'm killing COVID. Don't have a heart attack, I swear to God. I wouldn't have done this had I not have had a second sheet. But it actually works out, and I trust my gut. I cut it off, and then I love it. And I've worked out that's what was wrong with it. So, removing the green leaves, and then I absolutely love where this is going. So, and I do just discard them because there was no use for them on this page particularly. I end up taking that piece out at the top because it does have some green stems and stuff in it, and your eye was drawn to it because it was the only bit of green left. So I just cut around the flower and went with that. Okay, now I'm happier with it. See how it just looks more like sort of floating flowers, if that makes sense. So it's at this point, I'm pretty sure this is at the point, yep, there we go. See, I figure it out eventually. I'm sure you guys were screaming at the TV or your screen or whatever you're watching me on. So I just have to cut out 1/2 inch on top and bottom, and then it's not a problem. Other than the fact that I have a line in it, but that's all right. I figure out something to fix that anyway. So I did slow myself down, even with my foggy brain at the moment. I slowed down and remembered I wanted to go around it with scattered straw just to create that dark edge for the border. So, sorry, I needed a drink. So, I go around with this, and then I come in with my sewing machine. My sewing machine, I don't do that on camera because, well, my sewing machine's behind me and my camera's above my head. So that doesn't work. So what I end up doing is going around all of it. I do look, for anyone new here coming and checking out my channel, welcome. And any of my older subscribers can let you know that I do like to leave in 99.9% of my process because I want all of you to know exactly the steps that I've taken. I will speed it up. I will speed it up 4 times in order to leave so you can follow the whole process. And I'm obviously not rambling on having an 1.5 hour long YouTube video. That's crazy. So I speed it up, but I leave in all the process. So very, very little. Usually the bits I cut out are parts where I get my head in it, or I reach up to turn the camera off and I lean in front of the camera or something like that. They're usually the pieces that I chop out. Other than that, I leave it in there so you guys get the whole deal. You know exactly what I did. And you can always adjust your playback speed and slow it down if you want to slow it down. And you just do that by clicking on the little sprocket in your settings, and when you click on it, it gives you a little drop down box that tells you your replay speed. You can speed up or you can slow down anyone's video at any point. So you can, with mine, you can literally speed it up even more if you want to, just to sort of very quickly, because I know some of us seasoned scrappers, we can watch something in super fast forward and figure out exactly what's been done. So if that's something that you like to do, go for it. That totally works. Why not? Okay. So here I'm showing you where I sewed it. So I did a bit of a messy zigzag stitch across the 2 yellow borders. And then so that didn't look out of whack, I did a few zigzag and straight stitches across in different parts in 3 different points. I'm aware that the center one is going to get covered. Majority of it's going to get covered. It will. I already knew that. And I thought the top photo might cover it, but it didn't. It's just a little bit below. Sorry, I had to cough. I apologize. So now what I'm doing is I'm bringing in my foam. So that's how I store my fun foam that I get from Spotlight. And they're just 4x6s. And I haven't bought any for a while. A few people have said here in Australia that they're finding it hard to get. So, but as I did say yesterday, in yesterday's video, I have found some double-sided foam strips. And they come packaged in a nice, neat little flat card. So I'm going to buy some of that and give that a go, because I think you still need your fun foam sort of for this kind of thing, because I don't want to put mine in my album and then have it sort of half squashed. So basically what I'm doing here, just going round, round. So what are you guys up to this weekend? Anything exciting? Any scrappy adventures? Anyone going to a crop? Anyone allowed out of the house because they don't have COVID? That'd be a good one. It's all right. It's gonna be fine. So, all right. So we have got now. So that's all now raised up. So this is where I literally could have just started gluing everything down, but I thought, no, slow down, do the process. See, I would put it in the wrong spot. So all these leaves. So you've got to now imagine the fact that, can you see how my borders have come in just that 1/4 of an inch? See how it makes a difference? If you don't take that 1/4 of an inch, you scrap the full 12 inches wide, and it makes it very difficult when you go to put them in your album. Now, that bright pink one that I'm putting on right now, I actually thought that was way too bright. Now, that's picked raspberry, but next to that pink poppy, it is exactly the same. I don't even know how. It's literally the same color. That's so cool. And then, so I just go ahead and I put these all the way around. And this is when I realize, I really like this. I don't do much of, I've done one rainbow in all my years of scrapping. I've done one rainbow layout. And I actually did do a video for it. So it is in my scrapbook pages list. Actually, it's in mixed media as well. And it's Craft and Math. And that's the only rainbow layout I've ever done. and I love them. I've just never done them. So this is kind of my take on a rainbow layout. This is how I would prefer to see it, my scrapping style. So at this point, I'm procrastinating. I apologize in advance. But I actually think I haven't sped this bit up, and that's why it seems to be taking forever. So what I'm thinking about is I think it needs some colour in the very centre. That's what I think it needs. So now I'm going to try very strategically not to get colour everywhere, but to get it just where I want it. So that was a little bit of Tumbled Glass. And then I think I need a bit of purple. Whew, I tell you what, once I squish this together, can you see that big blob? Splotch, there it goes. It's okay. There were no poppies harmed in the making of this short video. So I know that the photos are going to cover some of this, but there's also going to be, you know, those extra bits where it's not covered, and you can just get those little tiny bits. I think that's what it needed. And that one there was scattered straw that I just put down. No, it wasn't. This one's scattered straw. The other one was wild honey. So now once I do that, I just need to dry it off because I don't want the ink to get everywhere. And just looking at that right there, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's turning out so good and I'm so happy. So I want to take this moment too and say thank you to all my wonderful subscribers and all my subscribers that have let me know where they're from and where they found my videos and my channel from. That just blows my mind. I'm so excited that YouTube is finally the algorithm has recognized the fact that I'm creating content on a regular basis and start putting my name out there a little bit, which is good. So I've found quite a few Aussie people that are, you know, they're a lot closer to me than I even realized, which is quite funny. So you just never know what people do in their craft rooms at home. You have no idea until you create a YouTube channel and then you go, well, I wanted to move that leaf because it was too far down, but art glitter glue, there's no time. So, okay, so you can see here that obviously that mixed media that I put in the center is getting a fair bit covered up. I mean, the tumbled glass, let's be frank, you can't see it. But what it does allow to happen is the base, I'm just putting some foam under this picture. So what it does allow me, it gives me a spot to put my title, because this doesn't really need a whole lot of journaling. They're at a play group. We used to go to this play group in the mornings and they'd have morning tea and then come home and have their lunchtime sleeps. Oh, to be a child, wouldn't it be wonderful? And yeah, so then I go through and I use the stickers that I've used are not written down in front of me. Paige Evans Happy Life foam stickers. You know these little tiny ones? There's blue on the back and white on the front. And so I went ahead and this is where I remembered, you're putting this on top of mixed media, Karen. Bit of glue wouldn't go astray here. So I just put my title down in white, which stands out because I've put the mixed media on there. So it works perfectly. And playground, this always does my head in. Doing a word backwards, but you have to do it backwards so you don't run out of room. Yeah, it works. So guys, let me know if there's anything else that you want to see, if there's some sort of scrapbooking, I guess the best thing I can do is just keep creating my style of content, and if you guys choose to share it to your friends, that would be absolutely amazing. Tag some friends in it so that they can come and have a watch and maybe subscribe while they're there, get a few ideas. Like I said, anything I put on my YouTube channel, anything that I put on any of my socials, feel free to scrap lift it, scrap lift the whole thing, scrap lift part of it. Totally your call. I'm open to it. So just tag me in it so I can have a look and see what you've created and what part of my layout inspired you to do your layout the way you did it. That would be awesome. That's if you share your layouts. Some people don't. So now I've done that. I've just gone around with my Uniball Gel Impact pen in gold just to add. I didn't want to do splatters. I think splatters are overused. I love them sometimes, but I didn't want to add splatters. So I just put a bit of gold pen on there, and now this is the close-ups. It's just stunning. I absolutely love it. I'll have all the links below for you. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing before you leave, that would be fantastic. Then you'll know when I load up more content. And at the moment, I seem to be doing it every day. My plan is to do a layout every other day, but at the moment, I have plenty of free time. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.